day, and I feel like I failed y'all. I feel like I failed my subscribers because I don't post. Uh, I really just do not post consistently on here, and I am back to working out. Um, I have gotten my pain to about, it only gets to about a 5 max. Um, so I would say for like, I don't know, I haven't been doing a whole lot of like intense workouts or anything, but I've just been letting my body completely rest and rejuvenate after every workout. I've been eating better. Um, but yeah, um, the stiffness in the morning is still there. Uh, Definitely aches and pains throughout the body, but um, and some days I can get up and it only takes me about an hour to do my stretching and my tai chi to get going. So I'm a lot healthier and stronger than I was, which actually feels really good. um, so what have I been up to? So I did a video a while back. I looked at it about, I have not been consistent with my love making workouts, but mostly I've just been walking. I have been doing a little bit of Shaolin Ring training. I might actually go live for some of that in the future, and some club training, because I've been training with a club. It's a 25-pound club right now, and so that's going to be exciting. It's a big, hefty club. I think it's 25. It could be more than that. I don't know, but it's definitely up there. And I dance every day. I dance, do stretching, dance. Okay, so the last month I went to a survival school, and it was really tough. I did the first 3 days were no food at all, and that was brutal. At the end of the third day, I thought maybe they would have us go a week without any food, and I was like, okay, if it's a week I can survive. I just gotta make sure that I stay extra hydrated, and when we get to the streams, I really get on to just drinking more water. Day 4 though, we got, normally in the real world that I would eat the amount of food they gave me in like, I feel like a day or two, but that was gonna stretch us for 7 days. I think it was about 1,000 calories, if that, a day. Somebody had like half of their food left over at the end of the 7 days, and I was like completely impressed. I'm like, okay, this dude's a legend. I just barely had enough food, and I was able to make the food stretch. That was the hardest part, I think, was making that food stretch. Oh yeah, the first 3 days when we had no food, we hiked about 20 miles within those first 3 days, but the terrain was crazy. It was like scaling up mountains and up and down mountains, crossing over streams. It was pretty intense, and it was really cold. I think for the first 3 nights, I got maybe like 3 hours of sleep. Maybe I got like a full 1 hour of sleep every night. It was pretty difficult. I'd say probably through the whole thing, the hardest part was my mind, and they just had us keep going. We just kept hiking, we just kept going. And I think it simulated like a survival situation where, because you have to clear that survival class in order to do a hunter and gather. In a real hunting and gathering simulation, like a real survival situation, you're going to constantly be on the move, looking and foraging for food and for wildlife to hunt. So I don't even know. Can y'all hear this? Hopefully I don't have to delete this, but so yep, that was pretty intense. I lasted 14 days, and I quit on myself, and last day I kind of yelled at someone everyone was pretty rude there, because they were so grouchy from not eating food. So their douchiness really came out, and I feel like I handled that pretty well for the most part. But someone told me to ask me if I washed my hands. I just flew off the fucking thing. I said, yeah. Went away, and I picked up a stick, and they just heard me yelling because I was like simulating hunting an animal. Anyway, I freaked them out. So actually I could have stayed, but when they sat down, they're like, we just want to maybe have you leave. They said maybe. Like, so they were like giving me a chance to stay. Maybe I could have argued my point. I was like, you know what? I'm down to leave. I just asked them, okay, so have we learned all the survival skills? What are we going to be doing the rest of the 14 days? So technically, I was a little failure in not completing the 28 days, which is pretty whack. But I did 14 days with somehow managing to survive 14 days off like 8,000 calories. In the first 3 days, no food, hiking 5 to 15 miles a day, up and down some crazy terrain. I guess one day we did like 3 miles. And then the other days we were resting when we made it to this base camp. But, yep, that's what I was up to. And I don't think one person has actually been in here. I guess that's what happens when you're not active like you used to be on social media. But oh well. Huh. I guess that's what I get. Maybe someone can go back and watch this if they feel like it. But yeah. So after that, I went to a work trade, and I went to a temple that was an Indian temple, and it was pretty awkward there, but there were some things I liked about it. I only had to work 4 hours a day, and there was a buffet there, so I ate at the buffet once a day. So I was intermediate fasting, but I was eating like probably like 2,000 calories a day at that buffet. And there's beautiful mountains. Actually, there's beautiful mountains here. If you guys want to see them, you can see that over there. But there was like nothing. It was like all beautiful mountains everywhere. And yeah, that was nice. So I was out in nature. I was feeding llamas. I was gardening. I was being active every day. I was going on a walk every day. And I was eating really healthy. Like, it was pretty healthy food. It wasn't actually an organic food farm, which was weird. I think the food that we were growing was organic, but a lot of the food that they used was canned. But it was still pretty good. It was still pretty, it was a good experience. I just didn't like the owner's wife, and she did not like me, and she told me, and there was no reason not to like me because I was very kind. I worked hard. I kind of got the feeling between her and her husband that she no longer really wanted to continue to spread the temple's religion, and she was an older lady. She was like, and he was getting older too, and so everyone's like, oh yeah, she's like that. She's scared away the last 60 people that we tried to have become monks here. It was a place where you could become a monk, and I was actually considering just becoming a monk for a year and seeing how it would work for my life and just digging into their religion. Because like, had that consistent work, had that consistent food, had a place to stay. I was like, maybe I could really learn some like principles here, and I could walk, exercise. I was getting a pretty clean, decent diet. It felt consistent. Like, it felt healthy, and something was just really off about her vibe, and it was almost like she created that temple because it was this ginormous temple. I felt from when her husband did this speech about his passion, like he was the passionate one, but it felt to me like she more or less was using us and the monks for free labor. It really felt like that. Like, the way that she was treating us was not in any type of alignment from the stuff that we were reading about in the religious books in the morning. So it just felt weird, and her attitude. And everyone's like, yeah, she's not really her husband is the one that you should view as the person that's presenting this. It's Krishna consciousness is what it was. It was an ISKCON temple. And even in the morning service, he was like, brought up how him and his wife like sometimes argue and fight. And I was like, what the fuck? So it's like, he was like, be like, don't mind her. She was super stubborn. She like wanted to control everything. She was really nasty. It was weird. But I ended up leaving. And yeah, the vibe just wasn't right for me. Maybe she was different when she was younger. She had just broken her arm recently, so maybe she was in pain, and maybe she was like at that end because she looked a lot rougher than her husband did. Her husband was 77, used to be a marathon runner, but I feel like she was like 10 years older, 10 or 20 years older. Like, she looked really too old to be. She was heavy. She was getting heavy. And they don't even sleep in the same room, so they don't even cuddle at night. He explained that during the thing. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's just interesting. Supposedly one of the dudes from the Beatles, don't know too much about the Beatles, but I remember that song about the sunshine and stuff. I thought that was a really good jam when I heard it. And one of the Beatles people, or two of the Beatles, were Hare Krishnas. So they shaved their head. There's 4 principles: no sex, no gambling, no meat, and something else. No gambling, no sex, no meat. I did all right with the no meat. There wasn't anyone there to have sex with. There was one girl, but she was like super, she called pure, and I don't gamble. I mean, and there was another one, but I can't remember it. But pretty much I did all of them easily, and no drugs and alcohol. I mean, I haven't done the sex or the drugs and alcohol in like, the drugs and alcohol, it's been 10 years, and the sex, it's been 3. I think I did have sex sometime like this last year, but it just wasn't a vibe. It was just kind of like one of them weird Tinder dates. It's just like the whole online dating thing just really doesn't work for me. It's just like a different vibe when you get there. But yeah, so I was cool. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like learn how to garden. I'm gonna eat at the buffet every day. I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna get my mind like we're gonna be singing and dancing in a temple every single day. So this could be great. But it just wasn't. It wasn't as great as I thought it would be. If she wasn't there, it would have been pretty solid. Because everybody else seems super awesome. And I think she made the atmosphere really awkward. So I feel like I would have gotten along even better with the rest of the people there. It was just one of those things. And I still respected her. I wasn't like, but I like called her out like, hey, you're being rude. She just did not like that. And then everyone's like, oh, just don't mind her. Like 2 of the people that roofed with us one for 2 years and one for 10 years, there were 2 ladies ended up punching her. And I'm just like, what is this place? How is that? How is this a representation of your religion? This is really, I was just, everything that I was learning, most of the time we were just chanting in different languages. Nobody really took the time to sit down and explain to me what it was we were chanting, other than absolute love and happiness towards God, which is Krishna. So I got the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare down. But it was just weird. It was weird. Deep down, an intentional community where you're working 4 hours a week, like they literally said in their meeting, like they built this $1 million loan for this. It was a freaking palace, and it paid itself off, and then they made their money back. So like if they made that much money, I'm not sure what they make their money on, but I don't know if it's selling their religion, but like, or if they sell their produce, but people can live in community and organic garden and not need much else than like yoga, breath work, dancing. Hate to say it, but sex is not bad. Actually, the times in my life when I was having the most sex, I was the healthiest and most happy, and I had the best outlook on life, and I felt the most cozy. So like, I'm not sure about that, but the no drugs and no alcohol was absolutely lit. The no gambling and the no meat, I was pretty much down with, you know. The vegan food was absolutely out of this world. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That survival thing, we on day 8 or 9. No, I think it must have been like day 12 actually, my bad. I think it was day 11. We killed a sheep, bled it out, and pretty much just ate that whole sheep. It was gone. There was like 13 of us, and within like 3 to 4 days, that meat was just gone. So it was interesting. I think if I was out there hunting, I could totally do it if I could eat the meat. But if just going out on my own and doing the survival challenge, like I should be able to hunt enough meat But can I forage enough vegetables or plants that would give me like my vitamin C and stuff? So that's what I got to get really good at doing before I go out and do that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, y'all. I am doing some pretty intense training. Actually, I've done it every other day with the club. It's about as heavy as the sword I was swinging, but it's a lot easier because it's a lot shorter. But my goal is to get that club up to like 50 pounds, maybe even more, and just slowly work up with that club training, because I can swing the club in my new van. I have a 8-foot van, which is pretty big. The van so far, it's been a money pit, but luckily I've been working things out with the finances. And so yeah, that's what I've been up to. So will I swing a 50-pound sword 1,000 swings? Maybe. Am I that motivated as I used to be? No. I don't know why I'm no longer like that motivated. Like, my body obviously can't do it anymore, but I know that I could get my body strong again. It's like I have these other things that I really want to do. Like, I want to do the outdoor survival thing, or I want to live in community, or I want to go live in a nudist community, or I want to go surf, or I want to like do stuff, because I realized we only got like 100 years before we kick the bucket, and most of us are just like, when I look around, most of us are just chasing the materialism, like these big houses that they're huge, but you're only in them when you sleep. And it's just far out. Think about it. So like, you go to school till you're 18, and then you go get a job till you die, and you're just coming home to your house. Like, not everybody. Like, that's why I did this YouTube, because I wanted to like make money on YouTube. I wanted to express myself and get happy and healthy, and talk about like alternative lifestyles and alternate ways of being, and like discuss different types of religions and belief systems and atheisms and spiritualisms, and like eventually like do some type of podcast that just has people come on there and talk about what they believe, just so we could kind of like get a better introspection of like how we could be enjoying reality. Because I feel like for a lot of people it might feel like it's blowing pretty bad right now, like it's not that good, like it could be a lot better. Deep down, I've been doing a lot of gratitude, thinking about my gratitude. I've been like craving a woman, but at the same time it's like, what can I really offer a woman right now? Like, I don't know. I'd have to have a wild woman who is okay with just like loves the stuff that I love. Otherwise, like, most women want like the house, the pool, the boat, the nice car, or they at least want the house. And it's just like, I don't want the house. You know? I mean, if I just had the house, I would take the house. I don't know. I haven't really been singing as much. It's one thing I want to get back into doing more, is singing. So I've been getting into some old 90s like trance music. So it's kind of chilled me out. Been listening to some different stuff. Was really getting into country about 3 months ago, and that's what led me to really watching the bushcraft videos. And the Daniel Boone marathons and all the survival movies, The Revenant, and all this other stuff. But when I got back from the survival expedition, I was like, well, this would blow if I didn't have a sugar, or if I didn't have a honey bun next to me. And everybody at the survival expedition was either single or they were like there and their partner was elsewhere. So like nobody, even the instructors didn't even have their partners there with them. I'm just like, am I going to die single if I just become a bushcrafter? And there's like these videos with these hot, attractive, smart, witty, sexy women that are on YouTube, but they've got like 50,000 likes. That's super high competition. Like I'd literally have to like go on Naked and Afraid, show my nuts to the world and my butt. And it's like, I don't have a problem with that. I was a stripper. Like I'd have to do that. I'd have to win. I'd have to become highly likable, highly sociable. I'd have to like catch enough meat so everyone got super fat on the take instead of starving. Build everybody a bed. I'd have to like do it all and become like a master at it so that I knew I could win. Like if I'm making everybody a bed and they're like, oh, they made this, and I just go and make them a house of the bed, I'm like, well, it's over there. You could totally move in if you want. And then while hunting all their food, if I could just like, it's like in most businesses, like in most sales businesses, 5% of the people do like 90% of the output, right? Like that's how it is at a lot of jobs. Like most people just aren't passionate about what they do, so they don't like plan a way to succeed at it. I'm like, what if I got so freaking strong, ripped and jacked that I could just make everybody's day on Naked and Afraid, and maybe even meet my wife on there, and we're just like frolicking around on public television butt naked. I know it doesn't sound that romantic to a lot of people because we see the scenes where like their fire ants are like biting their testicles and stuff. But for me, it's just a simple life. And it's like, okay, well, we're kind of famous now, so if someone could just kind of fly us to come hang out with you, that would be lit. And then we go hang out with them. And then we just walk into the forest. So like someone in Hawaii wants us to come hang out with them, we would do it. And then we would walk into the rainforest afterwards. And if we got bored and we wanted to go and like get a massage, maybe there'd be like somebody smart who set up like a business for us and we had money in a bank account. And so we could like, okay, well, why don't we just go back there once a year or twice a year, you know, for a week, and go get like our little massages and stuff, get a little bit of a taste of the real world, and then fly somewhere else. And then, you know, it could be lit. Anyway, I think no one's been on here the whole time. That's pretty sad. But we'll just call this Will I Go On Naked and Afraid? Did a 28-day survival course. I don't know. But yeah, just kind of talking to myself, it looks like. But yeah, I know everybody's doing stuff. Everyone's probably watching like fear porn about the news and all the crazy shit that's been happening. So I think I could provide value for you guys if I did that, because I could show y'all how to survive if like shit did hit the fan. Everyone's saying how like Rome's gonna fall and this is like modern day Rome, and how like all the money and stuff. Like I've seen it on 1,000 videos by now, just scrolling. Like, oh, blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, I was up in that fear. And that's one of the reasons I went to the survival school, because I was like, well, fuck. And I still don't feel that confident that I could survive out there, because they wanted to charge like $6,000. And then you still don't know how to live, because then they want you to buy the other 2 courses too. You know, it's like they're based on capitalism, but yeah, it's a survival school. Something about it just felt a little bit off. You know, I was thinking about it. I was like, why do they need to charge this much for these classes and courses? If they're really about that life, or there's someone at the top making a bunch of bands. But you know, that's just how it goes. But life is peculiar. You know, shout out to the guy that's making probably, you know, $1 million every 6 months off these courses. He probably has like a really nice log cabin house and all of the amenities. Shout out to that guy. Because at the same time, if I had the energy that I had when I was 18 with the brain cells that I have now, or I've hit my head a lot of times, so I don't know if I have that much brain cells. It's maybe a lot of head concussions, but like, you know, it's just like, I know a lot of stuff about business now. If I had like the knack and the drive, I haven't really figured it out, but I'm pretty sure if I was like 18 again with the wisdom I had, and I could just like have a like writ, I could probably make that kind of money. But who knows? Maybe I'll go out there in the wilderness. I'll become freaking yoked. Maybe I'll swing that 50-pound sword 1,000 swings while eating nothing but animal flesh and forage food. I think that would be way more rad. And that whole time I was out there for 14 days, I didn't one time beat my meat. So I didn't splooge once in 28 days. And that's because my body I was tired as fuck and I didn't eat nothing. But if I had enough meat and I had enough forage food, I could probably do it. Anyway, we're gonna turn this G-rated because we got a family walking by. So, but yeah, drop in the comments what y'all been up to, and if you guys are mad at me for not being consistent with what I said I was gonna do. In life, things happen. I did practically break my back last year, and I've done everything that I can to get myself back. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself, you know. I really have found my own style of Tai Chi, Qigong, Pranayama. And I don't think that if I wouldn't have injured myself like that, that I wouldn't have found out how to do those longevity arts. So, I'm seeing videos of like 70 and 80-year-olds that are doing backflips. They're like doing calisthenics on the bars. I met a 72-year-old although he quit after 5 days, so I'm not exactly sure when he did the 26-mile run. But that dude hiked with us with a 26-pound backpack with like no food. I kind of feel like he did a marathon for 26 miles at age 70. I feel like I didn't ask him when he did his last one because I forgot, but let's just say he did it when he was 60. Let's just say that he completed a 26-mile marathon when he was 60 years old. That's incredible. And I've really been through a lot with my body so far. Is there a way to get to that level of power and cultivate that amount of chi if I have the right environment or the right skills? It feels like this last year it's been taking way too much out of me to try to get myself to a place where I'm strong, positive, and happy with ease all day long without feeling like a failure. And I'm still not there, but I've kind of gotten to a point where I've just kind of accepted. I kind of just been like, oh, well, maybe I don't need to do all that. Maybe I don't have to do that. But at the end of the day, is that being disrespectful towards myself because life is beautiful? Should I be quitting my goals for health of the mind, body, and spirit? I should bring that body element back in. And even though it doesn't feel as touchable or tangible right now, what am I capable of? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I'm going to do like a couple miles walk. I'm going to try to get into running a mile every day. That's what I've really been trying to do. So I'm actually going to try to run a mile today. See if I can do it. That's what I really need to do. And I'm going to try to be more consistent on here. I don't know if I would be doing lives though, because I don't know if I got one person in here this whole time. So maybe just sing, somebody sit and talk. Maybe people popped in, I don't know. But I just don't have the energy lately to make and edit videos. If there's an AI video editing software, that would be excellent. Because honestly, it used to take me like 2-3 hours to edit those videos. Sometimes full days, 2 days. So, as of now, I'm probably just going to be doing little shorts, little lives. If I get back to feeling that vigor and stamina and motivation that I had consistently before, my energy, maybe I will come back to this full time. But it just takes so much energy. So maybe what I need to do is get absolutely ripped and jacked, film my stuff for a year, and then figure out how to insert it into an AI video maker, and then it won't be so difficult. I am going to post eventually the 14-day survival challenge that I did. Honestly, I don't think it was that impressive of a survival experience. I thought it was going to be a lot better than that. But what I'll do is in the future, I will definitely post that video. And then I will do a 30 days of all hunting and foraging. Okay. Yeah. Out in the woods. Because I know that I can go 3 days without food. So if I can't catch 1,000, all I have to do is catch 1,000 calories a day of food, or 500, I can go a day or two without eating. I just have to work on my navigation skills, and then I could do it. I could 100% survive 30 days in the woods, hunting and foraging. I will do that. That's my commitment. I will upload some shorts from time to time of my training videos, of the metal mace, dance, positive motivationals, little reviews, and then I will upload those too. Yo, make sure your days are filled with absolute joy, peace, bliss, and eternal ecstasy, unconditional love, and absolute vitality for the present eternity. Don't sit on your dreams, because it's not that long that you have here on earth before it's all gone. So don't get too stuck in your comfort zone if you feel like you are physically capable of trying a new experience. If you're not happy, and definitely do something if you're miserable. Definitely try something else. because it's often like people are like literally miserable at their jobs, okay? They're dying inside, they're slowly decaying, and they're just like numbing themselves with TV and social media. I've done it too the last year, the social media numbing. Like, get out there and do something. Like, live life, feel alive again. Because before long, it'll all be gone. Have the best one ever.